So, friends, on behalf of My Retired Life Foundation, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you for this very exciting series of sessions we have been eagerly awaiting for. As you know, Bhagavad Gita is possibly the apex religious scripture, not only for Hindu Sanatan Dharma, but maybe for all other major religions of the world also. In that, it encompasses the all aspects of life. So whether we are talking about bhakti, whether we are talking about yoga, whether we are talking about processes of moksha, all aspects of life I'm talking about, from the birth to death and beyond, everything is covered in the Bhagavad Gita. At least at a personal level, I wanted this to have a long back immediately after the MRL started, but because of various reasons we could not do it. And now we have with us our own member, an extremely coveted Vedanta scholar, Uday Acharya, who is revered and respected by all. He has kindly agreed to be with us and to deliver a series of sessions on the practical applications for our life, particularly as senior citizens. And I'm sure that the series is going to be extremely exciting. Today we are particularly starting this particular series, and after that we would like to take it forward on each Thursday, subject to Acharyaji's availability. But you can block the diary on Thursdays, 5 o'clock to 6:15 or so. We will continue our discourse on Bhagavad Gita. On behalf of all of you, I personally extend a very hearty welcome and gratitude to Uday Acharya for being with us today over here, and hand over the platform to Acharya, the floor is all yours, sir.
Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
It's all the grace of my teacher, Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Many of you may not know, he's Padma Bhushan. Just a year after he passed away in 2016, I think he was awarded Padma Bhushan by our president. It was posthumously. And just before he died, he had a whole lot of people from BJP, especially our own dear Modi ji, who came to meet Swamiji. And incidentally, he is also Modi ji's guru. So, Swami Dayanand ji was a very intense person in terms of the truth is a truth, no matter what people think about it. The truth cannot change. You have to change to accommodate the truth. And again, the truth is something that can never be shaken. So what can be shaken cannot be the truth. What cannot be shaken is the truth. Okay, so once you come to that point where you cannot be shaken, you can be very certain that what you have is a truth. Okay. There are two types of shaking. One is if you are a blind believer, in anything, then nobody can shake you. Why? Because you are not open to questioning. If you are not opening to questioning, then there's no question. Whatever you believe, that you take it as truth. But if you're open to questioning and you are also questioning, you will not rest until you get fulfilling answers. anything that comes by the way, it can give you a temporary answer, but temporary answers are not enough in your search for truth. So as you keep on asking, as you keep on exploring, you come to see a larger and larger picture. In that larger picture, you find the truth accommodates all your previous notions. At the same time, it goes beyond. The truth goes beyond your notions, right? So this is the spirit in which I'll be taking Bhagavad Gita. Many people see different messages in Bhagavad Gita. I would see this as you can put it as a temporary message. Gandhiji used to say, every time I open Bhagavad Gita book, if I have a particular question or a problem, I open this Gita book at random, and whatever verse that is there, it seems to answer my question. It is nice to see answers to your questions in the Bhagavad Gita, and that answer is not a permanent answer, it is a temporary answer to your problem. Okay, so it is contextual. So when you look at Bhagavad Gita, contextual to your issue, you will get a contextual answer. Different people get different answers, and sometimes the answers can be contradictory also. If that is so, we have to understand, is there a larger truth that accommodates all our different viewpoints, all our different contexts? For that, you have to understand the spirit of the Gita. It is not enough to look at the words of the Gita. You have to go into the spirit of the Gita. The problem with understanding the spirit of Gita is that Gita contains of 700 verses. 700 श्लोक है. अर्जुन का एक क्वेश्चन पकड़कर 701 होता है. Okay, in 13th chapter, Arjuna asks a question. So that is an extra verse which is not there in the original Mahabharata. Now, to understand any one verse of Bhagavad Gita, you have to know the context of all 700 verses. If you know the context of all 700 verses, then to understand one verse is very simple. Okay, so to know one verse, you have to understand all the 700. The problem is, to understand all the 700, you have to know each verse. So where do you start? You cannot understand the whole Gita just with one verse. You cannot understand the full impact of one verse if you don't know the whole of Gita. So the question is, where do you start? Either you have to go by trial and error, you have to go exploring without a Google map, or you have the blessing of a teacher who knows both the whole Gita and also each individual verses. Okay, this is the greatness of a guru. The guru is like a guide. He guides you in and through the difficult verses of the Gita and makes you see the whole picture. So I would call Bhagavad Gita as a holistic teaching. It is a holistic teaching. It includes different standpoints. At the same time, it is not limited to any standpoint. It is much more. In fact, the Bhagavad Gita itself, the Dhyana shlokas say it is a universal book. It is a universal text. It applies to everyone, irrespective of creed, color, language, irrespective of where you stay, in which hemisphere or which part of the equator, which side of the equator you are. It doesn't matter whether you were born 2 centuries back or 20 centuries ahead. It does not matter. Bhagavad Gita is a universal message. When you say universal, it is unique to, it is a unique message addressed to a human being. A human being is one who can look at everything and ask questions, why and why not. Also, what, when, how, where, why. Why is a leaf green? Why is my hair growing gray? And also, why do I feel sad? I don't know about animals, whether they have these questions. I'm not sure. Some people say, yes, they may have. If they have, then they are like human beings. Anybody who is like a human being, who has got a lot of self-judgments. My teacher used to say that no cow has a self-judgment and says, I'm an upper dog or I'm a underdog. No dog would say that. I'm an upper dog or an underdog. Okay. But the dog owner will say that, yes, my dog is a special breed. So the dog owner takes pride in his dog. As far as the dog is concerned, I don't think it has any complexes. I am not beautiful. I am not a Labrador, or uh, I'm too big in size. I don't like my size. I don't think any animal thinks of this like this. It is a human being who has self-judgment, and whether this self-judgment was there for Arjuna or whether that self-judgment is there for a Kamwali Bai. Okay, we are all human beings. We all have similar issues, and Bhagavad Gita addresses all of us. So it is said to be a scripture, right? Usually, whenever we start anything new or any activity, we start with a prayer. A simple prayer we will start with is called the Dhyana Shlokas. Bhagavad Gita, it includes a prayer to Lord Krishna, who is Gitamrita Duhe Namaha, the one who is giving you the Amrita, who is giving you the Amrit, the nectar of Bhagavad Gita. He is Lord Krishna. Unto him my prayers. Right? So I do not know how much of Sanskrit you would like me to take in Bhagavad Gita. As far as chanting is concerned, I will highlight a few verses of Gita for chanting. Maybe we can
We are not able to hear you.
Acharya ji, you are on mute, sir.
Okay. अभी अभी हुआ क्या? बहुत पहले से है?
नहीं अभी एक मिनट.
Okay, 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 okay. So, Bhagavad Gita is in Sanskrit, and the Moolam, I sent you the original verses, along with the translation also is there in Hindi and English. You can follow that. I will not have time to go through the entire Gita verses. I'll be highlighting, selecting some verses. Two types of verses. One is some verses which are popular. Many people use these verses for quotations. So then they've been popular, and sometimes they've been used out of context also. Okay. So I'll highlight those popular verses which you can use for your own talks. If you're talking anywhere on any subject, maybe some of these verses can be very effective, right? So these are what I call as a popular verses. They can be used for quotations. The other set of verses is basically the message of the Gita. Okay. So overall, there is a message of Gita which is consistent from chapter 1 to chapter 18. The message does not change. But there are a lot of details associated with those messages which keep changing from chapter to chapter. The details associating with those messages. That is why you find every chapter has been given a different title. The first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Arjuna's grief, the chapter of Arjuna's grief. Okay. Second chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Third chapter is called Karma Yoga. 12th chapter is called Bhakti Yoga. 15th chapter is called Purushottama Yoga. And 16th chapter is called Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. So these are different details that are associated with the main message. The main message, you'll find it is covered in chapter 2. Chapter 2, that is Sankhya Yoga. It covers the main message, who you are, from where you have come, and what is your purpose in life. Right? So I'll be talking more about second and third chapter. Other chapters I'll be touching upon for the other details associated with this main message. Right? So we'll start with the prayer. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini. This prayer is directly to Bhagavad Gita. You invoke Bhagavad Gita as a mother. Amba, hey Amba, Tvam Anusandadhami. I will follow your teachings. Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. You are the one who destroy my Bhavasagar. Bhavasagar is the ocean of change, ocean of sorrow also you can say. Our life is full of change. Some change we welcome, some change we are really praying, so please let it not happen to us. So, but whether we like it or not, we go through all these changes. As senior citizens, it is very evident to you. You've gone through a lot of life and you've survived many things in life. You've lost also many people in life and you've gone through different incidences. All this is part of Bhavasagar. There are two types, there are two ways to handle this Bhavasagar. One is to become more stealing. Don't worry. Just close your eyes and go ahead. Okay. Life is difficult. You have to fight your way through life. Or don't think about it. Just forget it and just be in the present moment. Right. Other is to understand that there is a reason for all this sorrow. Like like Krishna says, everything comes as experiences connected to your past karma. Okay, so your past karma in previous lifetimes. So that is the reason for your ups and downs in this lifetime. Therefore, you understand that and you commit yourself to doing the right type of karma so that as you go ahead in life, you will have better and better experiences. So change the way you do things, change the way you look at things so that in future your experiences become more and more positive. So think positively, act positively, and welcome experiences positively. If you can do that, Bhagavad Gita is a great help. Beyond that, Bhagavad Gita gives you an ultimate message that nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Your life also is temporary. Your life issues are temporary. All the ups and downs are temporary. What is permanent is what you are. Know yourself. You are the permanent self. The permanent self is not thrown off balance by the Bhavasagar. Right? So Bhagavad Gita, you are invoking her as a mother to help you to cross over this ocean of sorrow. This Bhagavad Gita, Parthaya Pratibodhitam, it was addressed to Partha, that is Arjuna, okay, son of Kunti. So Kunti's son is called Partha. He's also called as Kaunteya. So Kunti's earlier name was Pritha. So Pritha's son is Partha. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. This Gita was addressed by Lord Narayana himself. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina. It was composed by Lord Sage Vyasa, the great Muni, the great wise sage, Madhye Mahabharatam. It was composed right in the middle of Mahabharata. If you look at the entire Mahabharata of 1 lakh shlokas, the Bhagavad Gita will come right in between. It is like a pendant for a chain. The Mahabharata is a chain. The Bhagavad Gita is like a pendant, right? So it came right in the middle of the Mahabharata. That is the most significant aspect of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a series of events that unfolded over many centuries. Okay, Mahabharata is not just the war, 18-day war. It spans many generations. So Bhishma himself, when we talk about Bhishma, so he lived through many generations of the Pandavas and Kauravas. Now, Mahabharata starts even before Bhishma was born. Okay. So it goes back to King Shantanu, and that is Bhishma's father. And also it talks about the birth of Lord Vyasa. And it continues not only till the end of the war, it also goes into stories of King Parikshit. The Parikshit was the grandson of the Pandavas. Okay. And it also, I'm not sure whether Bhagavatam, the stories of Bhagavatam may be covered in Mahabharata, but Bhagavatam exactly is not part of Mahabharata. Okay. So it is a historical saga. So many kings, each king had a story, and all the stories, the collection of all the stories is Mahabharata. And Bhagavad Gita comes in right in the middle of all these verses, therefore the most significant. People talk about Mahabharata and say it is such a vast book of knowledge that what is not there in Mahabharata, you cannot get anywhere else. Okay. What is there everywhere else, you will find in Mahabharata. All the issues, whether it's politics or religion, everything that is there outside Mahabharata, you will find in Mahabharata also. But what is not there in Mahabharata, you will not find anywhere else. That means it covers all topics. There is no topic that is left out in Mahabharata. And the most significant of all topics is the Bhagavad Gita, which talks about the reality of your own life, how knowing yourself can make a difference into your life. And it applies not only to Arjuna, who is part of the Mahabharata, it also applies to anybody who reads the Bhagavad Gita. If a person from US reads a book, or if a person from Africa reads a book, the benefit is going to be the same, because it talks about who you are. If you know yourself, your world has changed. If you want to change your world, start with yourself. When you change yourself, the world has changed for you. Right? So, Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Amrita Varshinim. It is pouring the nectar of Advaita, that is the absolute reality, which is undivided whole. The reality is one undivided whole. It is an absolute reality beyond all differences. So all differences are reconciled when you come to this highest level of oneness. Okay. All differences are part of change. When you come to oneness, it includes all differences. It reconciles all differences. It resolves all differences. And it points out something that is not touched by difference. So this is the absolute reality, one whole, undivided, limitless, conscious being. This is Advaita. The Gita, it reveals to you, you are not what you think you are. You are the reality of everything that you think. You are not what you think you are. You are the reality of everything in this creation that you think of and interact with. So you are the ultimate reality. When you understand yourself, you are like a rock unshaken by what happens around you. Right? So this is called Sankhya Yoga in second chapter. And Sankhya Yoga is teaching you who you are. Ask yourself the question, who am I? The more you ask the question, you get different answers. And Bhagavad Gita reconciles all those answers in a whole, in a holistic way. So Advaita Amrita Varshini Bhagavati, you are Bhagavati, Gita Mata, you are the Bhagavati, you are the goddess herself. Ashtadasha Adhyayini, you are composed of 18 chapters. So unto you, O Gita Mata, my namaskar. Okay. Having prayed to Gita, you pray to the Gita Acharya. Gita Acharya is Lord Krishna. Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande, Jagad Gurun. So Krishna is the world teacher because he teaches you what you require to manage your world. Two things are required to manage your world. One is who you are. The other is what you can do. Who you are in absolute terms, that is Sankhya Yoga. What you can do is Yoga Shastra or Karma Yoga, you can say. So Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. So these are highlighted in the second chapter. The same thing is elaborated in the rest of the Gita. So if you have covered second chapter, it is as good as covering the Gita. Other chapters give you more details. So if we have time, we can go into other chapters, but definitely I will highlight some important verses from every chapter. Right? So, Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogda Gopala Nandana, Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat. So this Bhagavad Gita is a message that contains the essence of the Upanishads. The Upanishads are part of the Veda. They give you knowledge of yourself. You'll find some verses in Bhagavad Gita literally go hand in hand with the Kathopanishad. The Katha Upanishad is one of the important Upanishads in the Vedanta. So the similar verses you find in Bhagavad Gita, you also find in Kathopanishad. Okay. Apart from that, Kathopanishad gives you a picture, a comparison of your journey. Your journey in life is compared to a chariot that is moving on the road. Okay, so there is a chariot and there is a driver of the chariot. There are the horses and there are the reins of the horses. There is a master of the chariot and there is a road in which the chariot travels. So imagine your body is a chariot. Okay. And the master of the chariot is you, the individual. The driver of the chariot is your buddhi. Your buddhi is your wisdom. And your mind is like the horses, the sense organs. Your eyes, ears, and all, they are like the horses. These horses run on the road of sense objects. And these horses are connected to the reins. Okay, the reins that control the horses. So the mind is the reins. The buddhi is the driver. The driver holds on to the reins and controls the horses. Now, if the driver is a good driver, he will take you to your destination. So you are the master of the chariot. You tell the driver where you want to go. Driver says, yes, sir, I will do it. Okay. If the driver is capable, he'll control the horses. If the driver is not capable, the horses will control him. Okay. So the Kathopanishad gives this picture to say that if you do not control your mind and sense organs, you will go to destruction. If you have proper understanding, if you have proper wisdom, you will be able to manage your horses. Okay. And there's an expression in English, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Don't let your horses uh, uh, wild. Hold your horses together. Control your horses. I get a lot of people who tell me that how to control the mind, how to give up expectations, how to give up attachment. All this seems to be impossible. Okay. Gita does not say give up attachment, give up desire, stop thinking and give up your mind. Gita does not say that. Gita says regulate your mind, regulate your desire, regulate your expectations. Okay. The problem with the Gita is the language is in Sanskrit. Therefore, the same word can have many meanings. One word can have many meanings. Therefore, sometimes you can get distracted by the word and miss out on the actual context. So to keep the context in mind, Gita does not say give up desires. Gita does not say give up uh, uh, give up all expectation. What is said is manage your expectation, manage your desires, because a mind which is uncontrolled can destroy you. So this Kathopanishad, the picture that it gives, you find it echoes in the picture of the Mahabharata war, in which Arjuna is a master, Krishna is a driver. Krishna is a driver of the horses. Of course, generally the horses are usually in the war, I think two horses are adequate. You don't require 4 or 5 horses. When we say there are 5 horses, that means we are talking about the 5 sense organs. The 5 sense organs are the horses. So Arjuna is the master, and the master is in distress. So you require the Krishna, the driver, to address the master and say, don't worry, your chariot is in control. Okay? This war is in control. If you keep doing the right things at the right time, you will get the right results. So without spending more time, we have covered some parts of the prayer. Maybe more of the prayer will cover as we go further. So Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini Ambatvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavat Dveshini. Yes. A little bit of background to Bhagavad Gita is this war itself. Bhishma was a young boy. His father, King Shantanu, fell in love with a fisherwoman. Okay. And Satyavati. Her name was Matsyagandha. She's also called as Satyavati. Shantanu married Satyavati. But Satyavati was a fisherwoman. and her father said that being a fisherwoman, she will not be treated with honor in the kingdom. She'll be just sidelined by the royal queen, if at all there's any other queen in the palace. Satyavati will be sidelined. Therefore, I want an assurance that Satyavati will be the queen mother. Her son will become the ruler of Kurukshetra. Now, Shantanu already had a son Bhishma. Okay, his name was Gangeya. Gangeya, again the son of Ganga. Okay, his name was Gangeya, son of Ganga. And he had a nice name. I'm trying to recall the name. Vishwa
Devadatta.
Devavrata. Devavrata. Okay. So now this Devavrata was being brought up to become the next king after Shantanu. So this marriage of Shantanu and this Matsyagandha was possible only if Devadatta stepped aside. Devavrata stepped aside. Now Devavrata gave a word that I will not be king, neither I nor my sons will be the king. In fact, I will not have sons at all. So he took a vow that was so terrible that he was named Bhishma, the terrible. Okay, so this Bhishma was in charge of training Satyavati's sons. Satyavati had two sons, Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. One of them died very early in a young age. And the second boy was very small, so he was not old enough to rule the kingdom. So Bhishma had to rule the kingdom in his place. Okay. Bhishma also had given a word that whoever is sitting on the throne of Hastinapura, whether it is my own stepbrothers or their children, I will stand by them and see that nobody can threaten this kingdom. Okay. If there's any opposition to the kingdom, I will personally stand and fight against that. So when the first boy died, the first stepbrother died, so Bhishma was there to take care of the second boy until he grew up. Now, this second boy had two sons. One was the Pandu and the other was Dhritarashtra.
Acharya voice is gone. Voice
You are
is not.
muted.
Yes, now it's okay.
ये पता नहीं कैसा मेरा voice छूट जाता है. Okay. So sometimes, emotion ज़्यादा होते लगता है. Okay. So Bhishma took care of this younger boy until he grew up. And this younger boy, Bhishma got him married to Ambalika and Ambambika. Ambika and Ambambika. These two sisters.
Fine now.
And each of them had one child each. So one was Pandu, other was Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra was born blind and Pandu was born sick. So poor Bhishma had to take the reins of the kingdom again and see that Pandu, until he grows up and becomes healthy, so somebody has to take care of the kingdom. So Bhishma was constantly there as an advisor, as a guide, and also as a warrior, okay, to see that the country is safe. Now Pandu had got married to Kunti and Madri. Dhritarashtra got married to Gandhari. Okay. Now, since Dhritarashtra was blind, Gandhari said, I will be faithful to my husband, so I will also become blind. She tied her two eyes and lived a life of a blind girl. Okay. And they had 100 children. So the oldest one was Duryodhan. Okay. So he had Duryodhan, Dushasan, and 98 more kids. Pandu had five sons, but Pandu had to retire to the forest because of a curse. He was cursed that if he embraces his wife in sex, so that moment he is going to die. Okay. So now Pandu said, I don't want to live like an sick person. So I want to pursue the higher truth. So I'll go and live in the forest. And his wives, Kunti and Madri, both of them said, we will also come with you. We will live with you. We will live as a ascetic, not as a king. Right? So now Pandu didn't have children. So if he's to have children, he has to go through the process of uh, having a sexual relationship, which he said, I cannot afford to do that because I will die. So then Kunti said, there is a solution. When I was young, I had a boon from this particular Rishi that I can invoke any Devata. I can invoke any Devata and be blessed with a child who has got the nature of that Devata. So I have a mantra for that. If I chant the mantra and live a certain life of discipline, I can invoke that God and I can be blessed with a child. Okay. So Pandu was very happy. He said, please do this. And she invoked the god Yama and she got a first son, Yudhishthira. She invoked the Vayu and she got Bhima as her son. And she invoked Indra and she got Arjuna as her son. Okay. Now, the second wife, Madri. So she said, please teach me also the mantra so even I can have children. So the Madri invoked the Ashwini Devatas, the twin gods, and she was blessed with two sons who were twins. Okay, Nakula and Sahadeva. So now one day the Pandu who was living in the forest, so he got overcome by emotion and he embraced Kunti and he died. Okay. So now these children are in the forest and between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, the Kauravas are Dhritarashtra's children. The Pandavas are Pandu's children. Between them, the Yudhishthira was the eldest. Therefore, the kingdom that was supposed to be ruled by Pandu should pass on to eldest son, that is Yudhishthira. But Pandu was in the forest. Okay. And this Dhritarashtra was a blind person. So when the children of Dhritarashtra, they said, now the Pandu is dead and Dhritarashtra is the older of the two. Pandu was the second son and the first son was Dhritarashtra, but he was blind, therefore he couldn't be king. But definitely the children of Dhritarashtra are not blind, so they can be king. So Dhritarashtra, the Duryodhana, he demanded that we will rule the kingdom. And Bhishma consulted all the acharyas there. So you have Dronacharya, you have other acharyas, Kripacharya was there. So all of them said that Dhritarashtra's children cannot continue as the king because he is not qualified to be a king, being blind. Therefore, Pandu was qualified. So if Pandu died, then Pandu's children should be put on the throne. So according to all the rules of Dharma Shastra, Pandu's children should be the king. So Bhishma invited the children of Pandu along with the wives of Pandu. Kunti remained to take care of the children, while the second wife of Pandu, she said, I will die along with my husband. So she committed sati, right? And she told Kunti, my two children, please you take care of, you are the mother for them now. So now Kunti became mother for 5 children. And unknown to all of them, Kunti was also a mother to one more child, that is Karna. Okay. Karna was the firstborn, but he was born out of marriage. Kunti was not married at that time. So Kunti put the child in a basket and put it down into the river. And that basket was found by one charioteer. And Karna was brought up as a son of a charioteer. Right? So unknown to all of them, he was the first son. He was the first Pandava. He was not even a Pandava because she was not married to Pandu. Okay. But yes, he was part of the brothers. Now, these children were invited to the kingdom and they were still young, very young. So they were very playful. So these cousins used to play with each other. And Bhima and Duryodhana had a rivalry. They were all the time competing with each other. And in most of the games, Bhima used to put Duryodhana down. So, and he used to mock Duryodhana. Kaisa aadmi hai? You can't me also. And Duryodhana became very threatened by Bhima and other children. So he was always feeling that they will take over the kingdom, I will be sidelined. So he tried to poison them and he tried in many ways to make the Pandavas weaker and ineffective. Right? He even tried to burn them down in a wax house. So much so that the minister Vidura, so he warned the Pandavas, these people are going to try to kill you, therefore you please escape. So you go to a holiday home in this particular place, and Duryodhana has created a palace for you there. You will have to go there, and one day Duryodhana is going to burn down that house. So be very careful. He warned, and he also told them a way out. You dig a tunnel from that palace so that when the palace is on fire, you can escape. So these boys escaped and they went and lived as Brahmins. They dressed up as Brahmins so that Duryodhana will not know who they are. And in the process, they went to Drupada's kingdom where they married Draupadi. Okay, these 5 brothers. So Arjuna won the contest of archery. So he shot down a fish that was rotating. He has to look down into the water, see the image, see the reflection of that fish, and aim the arrow and shoot. So he was successful. He married Draupadi. And unfortunately, they were dressed as Brahmins. So Brahmins are supposed to collect a bhiksha. They go to different places and collect bhiksha. So when they came home to Kunti, Yudhishthira said, "Mother, look what bhiksha we have brought." And Kunti says, "If you have brought it, please share it with all the brothers." So now Draupadi said, "How can that be possible?" So, but again, all these brothers and Kunti, they had a conference, and they said, the only way we can survive if we are together. Okay, if we have to survive this danger of Duryodhana, who is trying to kill us, we are weak, they are very strong, so we have to be together. The only way we can be together if Draupadi is connected to all of us, so that we can never be separate. If Draupadi is there to connect all of us, we will always be together. So finally, everyone agreed, and Draupadi was became the bride to 5 husbands, and again they were invited back to the kingdom. Bhishma said, "I will see to it that you are crowned as a king." But because Duryodhana was not agreeing, they said, "We'll partition the kingdom. We'll partition the kingdom. Uh, we will give you a new place, Indraprastha." So Yudhishthira, you become king of Indraprastha, and Duryodhana will remain king of Hastinapura. So this was the arrangement. And in Indraprastha, Yudhishthira had an architect called Maya who made a miracle of that place. He converted a barren place into a very fertile place and full of riches. So Yudhishthira had an Ashwamedha Yaga to prove that he's the king of all the regions. So everybody is secondary to this king. He is the Adipati. So now Duryodhana also went along with that. So Duryodhana's army was part of Yudhishthira's army. It went to all corners of the country and came back unchallenged. That horse was the Ashwamedha horse. So that was sent. Wherever it goes, no king should oppose it. If anybody opposes it, there will be a fight. And if Yudhishthira wins the fight, then he'll be the king of that land. So nobody opposed. So unopposed, he was accepted as the ruler of the entire country. Right? So now that Abhishek was there, he was made the king. And now Duryodhana couldn't keep quiet. He invited Yudhishthira to a game of dice. So in the game of dice, Yudhishthira lost everything. He lost his kingdom. And what was that? He lost his brothers. He lost his wife also in that game of dice. So Draupadi was ordered to come to the palace so that Duryodhana can enjoy her as a slave. Right? So now when Draupadi was brought in, so none of the brothers could do anything about it, because according to the rules of the dice, so they were already servants of Yudhishthira, so they had no voice. Bhishma and Drona also, they lost their voice for the simple reason Bhishma had committed himself that I will see that nobody threatens the kingdom of Hastinapura. Whoever is sitting on that throne, I will stand and fight with him. So Bhishma said, I am already committed to Duryodhana. Now I can't remove him from the throne. Therefore, I am helpless. So Bhishma was helpless. Drona didn't know what to do. He said, I am just a servant of the king. So I cannot go against the king. Karna, the friend of Duryodhana. So Karna made fun of Draupadi, and Dushasana, the brother of Duryodhana. So he dragged Draupadi to the court and he started disrobing her, and she prayed to Lord Krishna, and Krishna saved her, by making Dushasana faint in the process of disrobing her. He couldn't do it successfully, and he fainted. And at this point, Bhishma stood up and says, enough is enough. Lot of wrong things are happening here. I declare the game of dice as nullified. Okay, the game of dice was not a fair thing. So it is something that cannot be accepted. Therefore, Yudhishthira can take back everything that he has lost, and he'll be sent back to Indraprastha with a lot of presents. So now Duryodhana could not stand this. So as Yudhishthira was going away, Duryodhana said, let us have one more game. There's only one condition. If you lose, you have to go to the forest for 12 years. And one more year, you have to stay in hiding. If you are found out where you are hiding, then another 12 years you have to go. So now Yudhishthira lost that game. Therefore, they had to go away for 12 years and one more year in hiding. So in these 12 years, they went around the whole country, and they started making friends and influencing people. So the Pandavas started collecting a big army, and in the 13th year, they took shelter in the kingdom of Virata, King Virata. So he gave them shelter, but Virata himself did not know who these people were there, because they were dressed as Gandharvas. Okay, Gandharvas are divine beings. And Arjuna said, so if we are 5 people, so Duryodhana will easily recognize us as a 5 brothers. Therefore, I have a boon that for 1 year I can live like a eunuch. Okay, the third gender. So, in fact, I have a curse. So, this is the right time to fulfill that curse. I will become a eunuch, and I will go with you. Let us go to King Virata, and we'll say we are Gandharvas, and we are experts in dance and music. We will teach dance and music to Virata's daughter. And also Bhima said, I will cook in Virata's kitchen. Arjuna said, I will become Brahannala, okay, the teacher of Virata's daughter. I will teach her dance. Yudhishthira was, he said, I'll become an astrologer. And Nakula Sahadeva, one became the tender of cows, another became the attender of horses. So they were hiding in Virata's kingdom, and Duryodhana suspected that these people are hiding. So they sent an army to attack Virata. And in this, the Pandavas, they said, we will fight along with Virata's army. So they went and joined the fight. In the meantime, the kingdom was left without any defenses. Okay, all the soldiers had gone to fight the Kaurava army. Now there was another band of people, the main people, the Drona, etc. So all of them, Duryodhana sent them to take away all the cows from the kingdom, all the cows and horses, all of them, they were stolen. And when the guards, they objected, they said, we are from Duryodhana's army, keep quiet, otherwise we'll kill you. So these guards went to King Virata and said, do something. Virata also had gone for the fight. So only Virata's son was there, Uttara Kumara. So Uttara Kumara says, I will take up the challenge. I will fight with these people who have taken away our cows. And he says, I do not have a charioteer. Otherwise, I myself single-handed would have gone and fought these fellows, the Kauravas. So Brahannala, that is Arjuna in disguise, So she said, don't worry, I know how to drive horses, so I will become your charioteer. Uttara, you come with me and I will take you to this battlefield. You can do the honors and you can fight. I will drive so that nothing will happen to you. I will take care of you. Now, when Uttara went for battle, he saw this Bhishma, Drona, and Karna and all that, and he lost his courage and he started running away. And poor Arjuna dressed up as Brahannala. So he ran behind Uttara and said, where are you running? That fellow says, I cannot fight all these people. So this Arjuna said, please relax. I am none other than Arjuna. I will take care of you and I will fight your war. So Arjuna dressed up again with all his armor and he fought single-handed with all the Kauravas. Okay. And he used a special weapon which put all the Kauravas to sleep. And once the battle was over, again Arjuna came back dressed up as Brahannala, and he told this Uttara, please do not tell anyone that I am Arjuna. Okay, so when they came back, the 13th year was over. So in the 13th year was over, so this five brothers, they revealed who they really were. And now they said, we are going to declare war with Duryodhana, because now our terms and conditions are over. Now we will take back what belongs to us. So they declared a war, and on both sides, the Duryodhana and Yudhishthira, they started collecting their armies. Now Duryodhana had more power because he was ruling in the kingdom. Therefore, he had 11 divisions of army, and Yudhishthira could collect only 7 divisions. So 11 plus 7, total 18 divisions of army fought in this 18-day war. Okay. And in the process, Arjuna told Krishna, please fight with me. Krishna says, I cannot fight with you because I am related to both sides. Therefore, my army will fight on one side and I will remain without weapons on another side. Arjuna, choose whom you want. Arjuna said, I don't want the weapons. I don't want army. I trust my weapons. I trust my strength. All I require is your guidance, Krishna. If you are there on my side, all is well. So Krishna joined Arjuna in the war, and Krishna says, I will not fight with weapons, but I will drive your chariot. Right? Arjuna told Krishna, don't fight, you drive my chariot, so that every time any arrow comes through, I know you will be there to prevent the damage. Okay, so now both the armies have come together. Now Krishna, as a messenger to Duryodhana, he went and tried to avoid the war. Duryodhana said, the war cannot be avoided. I will not give up this kingdom. Okay. So even Yudhishthira's share of the kingdom, I will not give back. If he wants, let him fight with me. I will not give even a pin drop of land to Arjuna, to Yudhishthira. So the war started, and now both sides are facing each other. The scene goes to the palace where Dhritarashtra is wanting to know what happened in the war. So Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. Oh Sanjaya, please tell me what happened in this war between the fight between my children and Pandu's children. So Sanjaya says, so this in this war, now Duryodhana is looking around and he's approaching Dronacharya. Dronacharya is a teacher of Duryodhana and Arjuna, and he tells Dronacharya, look at this Pandava army. It is it is commanded by the commander-in-chief Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna is Drona's own disciple. So Duryodhana taunts Drona, your disciple is on the other side, and each of those warriors are equal to Bhima and Arjuna in strength. Therefore, they look very powerful. And on our side, we have enough people in the army, but it is manned by Bhishma. Bhishma is an old person. His fighting days are over. So I don't think he will be much effective in this war. So please see that you protect Bhishma in this war. He may be the commander-in-chief, but he should not be exposed to any danger. Now, Bhishma was listening to this and he said, now I should not allow Duryodhana to lose heart. So he took out his conch and blew the conch. So to encourage Duryodhana and say, I am ready for battle. Now, as soon as Bhishma blew the conch, the people in the opposite side, they also started blowing the conch and everybody got ready for battle. And Arjuna came in his magnificent chariot and he tells Krishna, please take my chariot in between the two armies so that I can see these people whom I am supposed to fight. Who are the people who have subscribed to Duryodhana's wrong thinking and have come here sacrificing their lives for Duryodhana? I want to see those people before the fight starts so that I can target each of them and be ready for the war. Krishna smiled and he says, yes, I will take you right in front. So Krishna took Arjuna right in between the two armies and Krishna says, Arjuna, please look. And Arjuna looked. When he looked, for the first time, he realized whom he is fighting with. He is not fighting with enemies. He is fighting with his own relatives. He said, my God, these people are the people I grew up with. I played on their laps and they taught me how to fight. Dronacharya taught me how to fight. Bhishma played with me on his lap. These are the people I am to fight. And these are the people whom I love dearly. How can I fight with them? So he lost his heart and he says, Krishna, I cannot hold on to my bow. My bow is slipping. My body is shivering and my legs are giving way. I cannot stand. My head is spinning. If you look into the modern symptoms of stress, all symptoms of stress Arjuna experienced. Okay? I cannot think straight and I feel the worst is going to happen. I see signs of destruction everywhere. I see bad omens everywhere. Therefore, I don't think I can fight. Please excuse me. So this is the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna keeps quiet. So Arjuna has to explain why he should not fight. And he comes to the point when he says that this war is unjust. Even though we are fighting for justice, we are killing the people who live for justice. Bhishma and Drona, they are not wrongdoers. So they are fighting, they are innocent people caught up in a war. And innocent people are going to die. And if we are responsible for that death, we are going to commit a greater crime than what Duryodhana is committing. Duryodhana is committing a crime against justice. Now we are fighting Duryodhana, we are going to create a bigger crime. Therefore, I don't want to fight. I think this is a wrong fight. So please excuse me. I think it is better for me to withdraw from this war, if necessary, even to take sannyasa, because I don't think this war can bless me. I think if I take sannyasa, I will get Shreyas. Shreyas is the ultimate good. If I fight this war, I will get sin. If I withdraw from this war and live a life of a saint, maybe I will get Shreyas. So please help me to discover what is the right thing for me to do. I surrender unto you. Okay, the second chapter, Krishna says, don't be a fool. This attitude of yourself is neither a royal military attitude, nor is it a very compassionate attitude. It is not dharma. It is not uh, what you can say. It is not justice. It is not military warfare. What you're doing is, really speaking, nothing but impotency. It is not your strength talking, it is your impotence talking. You were Brahanala when you're hiding in Virata's kingdom. There you could afford to be important. That was just a phase. Now don't continue that phase in this war. Okay, so get up and fight. And Arjuna says, now you confuse me, Krishna. I do not know what to do. You teach me. You are my teacher. I am your student. Please tell me what is the right thing for me. I'm not interested in this war. I'm not interested in this kingdom. I'm not interested in heaven also. If you tell me that this is a righteous war, it will give me heaven. I'm not interested in that also, because none of them will help me to remove the guilt that I will have at destroying my own people. My guilt is so strong, I can never be happy with anything that I get. Therefore, only you can help me. Please help me to cross over this sorrow. Please help me to cross over this guilt so that my heart will become free. Okay? And Krishna says, fine, ashochan anvashocha swam. You are grieving for something that does not deserve grief. The wise man does not grieve for those who are dead and gone. The wise person does not grieve for the people who are still living. Okay, so this is the message of the Gita. We will be looking deeper into it as we go ahead. So we have made a beginning. The next week, we'll actually go into the second chapter, the Sankhya Yoga. Right? So thank you very much. Anything you want to share with me, you're welcome.
Thank you, Acharya ji. It was beautiful, really.
Wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Non-stop, so long. We really had glimpses of entire Mahabharata today.
Correct, correct.
Very, very detailed introduction, and it was really very interesting. You were deeply into this today.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
We are
Thank
looking
thank you
Very
so
nice,
much,
it was
Acharya. I think
nice.
that was a fascinating introduction.
Thank you, sir.
We'll
Thank
look
you,
forward to seeing you next. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
A beautiful introduction.
Very nice, very
Thank you so
nice.
much, Acharya.
Eagerly waiting for the next Thursday.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
yes, thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely.
Very
Namaste.
true.
All right.